युहुन्तः प्रविश्यं मवाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते वृषाय तुभ्यं यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चापि व्रता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। 38 आचार्यागमसंस्कृतेन मनसैवाप्तव्यमेतद्बृहत् द्वैतं नास्त्यपि किञ्चिदत्रहिततः भेदं न पश्येन्मनाक् देहान्तर्हृदयाब्जगेन मनसा योऽङ्गुष्ठमात्रः पुमान् आस्ते सर्वमहेश्वरस्तमुकं ब्रह्मैत्यविज्ञो भयः निर्धूमाग्निरिवामलोद्रिक्तिमयः अंगुष्ठप्रमाणः पुमान् ईशानोऽस्य च भूतभव्यभवितुः कालत्रयव्यापकः स ब्रह्मैव शरीरभेदमनुयः नानात्मनः पश्यति भ्रश्यत्येव यथोदकं गिरिशिरे वृष्टं ततोऽधः पतत् शुद्धे शुद्धजलं जले विनिहितं शुद्धं यथा जायते ब्रह्मात्मैक्यविदेवमेव भवति ब्रह्मेति निःसंशयम् एतस्यास्ति परात्मनः किल पुरम् एकादशद्वारकम् नित्यज्ञानसुखात्मनो मनघः ध्यात्वा भयो मुच्यते हंसोऽयं दिवि भास्करोऽम्बरतले वायुश्च वेद्यां शुचिः सोमो वा कलशे गृहे सदतिथिः संवर्तते ब्राह्मणः मर्त्यस्वर्गरताः वाम्बरगतः वाज्यावनीजात्मकः यज्ञाङ्गो गिरिजात्मकः सममयः सत्यस्वभावो महान् ऊर्ध्वं प्राणमयं नयत्यपि तथा पानं क्षिपत्यप्यधः मध्ये तिष्ठति सेव्यमेनमखिलाः देवाः सदोपासते उत्क्रान्ते वपुषोऽत्र देहिनि परे नोशिष्यते किञ्चन प्राणापानवशात् जनः जीवत्यतो सुश्रुतात्. So we have covered up to verse 42. So verse 42 here paraphrases mantras 4-5. So earlier I was trying to say 4-5. Now the sixth mantra in the fifth valli which we are discussing in the Kathopanishad, the sixth mantra, Hantata idam pravakshyami. guhyam brahma sanatanam yatha cha maranam prapya atma bhavati gautama. This is the sixth mantra. Hantata idam pravakshyami guhyam brahma sanatanam yatha cha maranam prapya atma bhavati gautama. So I was mentioning to you in the previous class that this mantra has been left out from Rama explanation, or rather paraphrasing by Rāmarāyakavi. That is because wherever, so we saw that a dialogue form comes, so Rāmarāyakavi has avoided. So this is like a dialogue, right? Hantada idam pravakshyami. I am going to tell you. So he has basically tried to capture the content of Vedanta in this Upanishad. And the dialogue part he has left out, and therefore this mantra has been left out. So verse 43, which we will be reading now, so is the summary of mantras 7 and 8. Hantata idam pravakshyami guhyam brahma sanatanam yatha cha maranam prapya atma bhavati gautama. In fact, if we look at mantra 6, 7 and 8, they sort of convey one idea together. The idea is, if you carefully think, the question that was primarily posed was, Yayam prete vichikitsa manushye astityeke nayamastiti chaike. So they say that it exists beyond this death. Some people say that it does not exist beyond. Now the question is, does it exist or does it not exist? And this has been repeatedly said in various forms. If we see the content of the mantras that we are going to read, 7, 8, which is paraphrased in 43, we will see that he primarily tries to establish the existence as has been understood in various other Upanishads also. So that is what we will see now. The existence, Hantata idam pravakshyami, guhyam brahma sanatanam. Sanatanam is a word. So don't doubt the existence of this. It is eternal. The material form is lost, which will keep changing. And how does it keep changing is the content that we are going to see now. So in what form is this Atma going to come back? And what forms the basis for the choice of the form, etc. are being hinted here. So that is what we will see. So Sanatanam is something which is important. Hantata idam pravakshyami guhyam brahma sanatanam. Yatha cha maranam prapya atma bhavati gautama. So this mantra 7 goes like Yoni manye prapadyante sharirattvaya dehinaha sthanu manyena sanyanti yatha karma yatha shrutam. So this is captured in the first half of verse 43. Yoni manye prapadyante sharirattvaya dehinaha sthanu manyena sanyanti yatha karma yatha shrutam. This is not a very difficult mantra to just understand the import. Yonim prapadyante. So the word yoni has various meanings. Yonihi mamayo nirmahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham. So this is there in Gita. Yoni is also used in the sense of karana. Okay, yonihi is karanam. Yonihi is the place of the birth. So this is also called yoni. So yoni manye prapadyante sharirattvaya dehinaha. So is what the mantra says. So yonim prapadyante means they go and get themselves associated with yoni. This is what this means. Yonim prapadyante. Ke yonim prapadyante? Dehinaha yonim prapadyante. So yonim prapadyante. Anye dehinaha prapadyante. Kimartham prapadyante? Sharirattvaya. This is what this is. Sharirattvaya means shiryate iti shariram. Okay, in order to get associated with Sharira, they go and associate themselves with Yoni. This is what it says. Yoni manye prapadyante Sharirattvaya dehinaha. In order to acquire a Sharira, so one has to get associated with Yoni. Okay? So therefore, Yonim prapadyante is stated. Why does one acquire Sharira? Karma phala bhogaya. So karma phala bhogaya shariram prapnuvanti. Karma phala bhogaya prapnuvanti. So which kind of Sharira, etc.? So that is hinted by the phrase yatha karma yatha shrutam. So here he says Yonim prapadyante kechana anye sthanum anyenu sanyanti is what is stated. Sthanum anyenu sanyanti yatha karma yatha shrutam. So this is what is being stated. So here, what kind of Sharira is going to be obtained is not something which is left to our choice, but it is something which is decided by the karma that we have done. So that is why he says, Yatha karma. Yatha karma yonim prapadyante. Or they may sthavaranta adhogatihi is the phrase that people say. So either you start from Asmin loke, so if you just consider, so you have Purusha, and then if you go down, there are various animals, various creatures which have lesser and lesser faculty, and finally you think of some inanimate thing, or at least some tree kind of a thing, okay, so which does not have any kind of motion. So here, this mantra says, prapadyante implies that necessarily you acquire. There is no question now. Okay. So the question was, vichikitsa asit. So there is no question of vichikitsa. You definitely get. So this is what is indicated here. Okay. So you are necessarily going to acquire depending upon the karma that you have done. And what kind of karma that you do has to do with yathashrutam. So yathashrutam means, shrutam means yatha avagatam. That is how you have to understand. You shrutihi here should be understood as, so you hear something and then you digest something, and based upon that your actions are oriented. Right? So if you are repeatedly taught so to do something wrong right from the childhood, so you will keep doing that. So yatha shrutam yatha karma. So this is how, so some people, I mean here just now I saw, so these workers were just plucking that ripe banana. They said you should have asked, right? So their karma, so whatever is available you just grab. So I just told them, so this is what it is. Yatha karma yatha shrutam. So that we should not take anything. So it's something which has to be firmly registered in our mind, right? So anyway, so this just now 15 minutes back I had to tell them, ये नहीं करना है, ये गलत बात है. Anyway, so योनि मन्ये प्रपद्यन्ते शरीरत्वाय देहिनः स्थाणुमन्येन संयन्ति यथा कर्म यथा श्रुतम्. Okay. Now, this word yoni, I was just recollecting. There is a beautiful usage in a kavya. I wanted to share that with you. This word yoni used in the sense of karana, but that phrase that has been employed in that particular verse refers to karana, but the verse itself is very important, which has been presented to us by Bhavabhuti in his Uttarāramacharita. It is a beautiful verse. We all know that it is primarily the words that we speak which binds us with others, which also makes others hate us, right? The kind of words that we employ. There is a nice kural in Tamil. Kaniruppa kai kavarndatru இனிய உளவாக இன்னாத கூறல் கனியிருப்ப காய் கவர்ந்தற்று. Okay, this is a nice குறள். இனிய உளவாக means when there are sweet words available for us to utter. If you utter harsh words, this is like choosing an unripe banana and experiencing sour taste when there is a ripe banana that is available to you. Okay, kani iruppa kai kavarndatru. So this is what the Kural says. But this has been more beautifully stated by Bhavabhuti in his Uttarāramacharita. I'll just give you that verse. So repeat. Rishayo rakshasi mahuhu. Rishayo rakshasi mahuhu. Rishayo rakshasi mahuhu. Vachamunmattadriptayoho. 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 Sayonis sarva vairanam. Yonis sarva vairanam. Sayonis sarva vairanam. Sahi lokasya nishkritihi. Lokasya nishkritihi. Sahi lokasya nishkritihi. So I am trying to tell this verse to you to take a very important lesson which is worth pondering over. And there is a beautifully stated here. I was also impressed when I came across the phrase unmatta here. Rishayo rakshasi mahuhu vacham unmatta driptayoho. Rishayaha means seers. Rakshasim vachamahuhu. Okay. Unmatta driptayoho is what he says. Unmatta, normally we take it as
intoxicated,
lunatic. Okay. So lunatic, one who has sort of lost his sense. Unmatta means a madman. That is what we generally use. Dripta is an arrogant fellow. Okay. The words uttered by Unmatta and Dripta is described as Rakshasi. Rakshasim vacham ahuhu. You understand? Rishayaha Rakshasim vacham ahuhu. Unmatta driptayoho is what he says. So suppose a madman shouts at you. Are you going to be disturbed? You just ignore him, right? As a madman. The madman keeps shouting. So there is nothing like Rakshasi Vaku. So with respect to madman, then why is the poet using this? Dripta, of course, you interact with some fellow. So he is in power, he is in some position. So you request something, he arrogantly replies to you. That hurts you, right? That can be described as Rakshasi Vak. You cannot describe the words of Unmatta as Daivi Vak or Rakshasi Vak. Doesn't matter. Okay, whatever he utters, he doesn't have. So this is how we generally understand Unmatta. Then I was thinking perhaps this phrase in English, I have seen this in US many times. So he got mad at this woman.
In the sense of anger.
In the sense of anger. You understand? So when you get angry and then you speak some words, that word is described as Rakshasi walk. Okay? So that is how we have to understand. It is not a lunatic's speech, but it is someone who is really furious at some point. Okay, and then he says something having lost. Okay, so his viveka is lost and emotion has surfaced up and he just utters something. So therefore he is saying, Rakshasi mahuhu vacha unmatta driptayoho. The second half he says, Sayo nisarva vairāṇāṃ. Vaira is, so enmity, okay, hatred. Okay. So this is the source of Sa Yonihi Sarva Vairāṇāṃ, for all. Okay. So any kind of hatred that you develop, okay, with others, okay, make others develop hatred towards you. This is the cause. Sa Yoni Sarva Vairāṇāṃ. Yonihi means Karanam. Here. Okay. Yonihi is Karanam. Karanam is a generic sense. So in various connotations of the word yonihi, you will see. So even when you refer to that organ, so when the organ is referred, so praninam utpatti sthanam, suppose you consider. So even if it is a utpatti sthana, it is a karana. Okay. So it is the generic sense that you will find in various connotations of yoni will be karana. So here it is purely used as karana. So it doesn't sayo nisarva vairāṇāṃ. And finally he says sahi lokasya nishkritihi. Nishkritihi should be understood as paribhava hetu. Okay. So paribhavaha. Paribhavaha. Okay. So the cause for paribhava is this. Okay. So if he speaks politely, sweetly, everyone loves, right? Otherwise you will be disrespected, ignored, disrespected. So that is what is paribhava, humiliation. It is the cause of humiliation. Sayo nisarva vairāṇāṃ sahi lokasya nishkritihi. So here what we have to understand is, the important message here is, so unmattata, driptata, both should be dropped as far as possible. Okay, so that is the source. So just for no reason getting anger, expressing anger. Sometimes it bursts out in the form of verse. Sometimes it simply throws as expression. So both have to be controlled. Necessarily the latter has to be controlled. Okay, words should be controlled. And anyway, so the word yonihi, so I saw it's a beautiful usage there with a profound message. Repeat. Rishayo rakshasi mahuhu vacham unmatta driptayoho sayo nisarva vairāṇāṃ sahi lokasya nishkritihi. So this is actually stated in the context of describing the quality of Rama by Lava. Lava and Kusha, they don't know. They have heard of Rama. So the poet brings in some context. See, Rama is some person who doesn't have driptata, who never utters harsh words and hurts others. So something like that in that context, this Lava introduces this verse. Okay, now let us come back to the Yoni manye prapadyante. Here you should not take Yoni as a generic cause, but the praninam utpatti sthana. yonim prapadyante. Now, how do they reach this yoni? Shariratvaya dehinaha sthanu manyenu sanyanti yatha karma yatha shrutam. Now, I will take you to the verse here, Ramaraya, and then I have sort of explained the content of the mantra. Mudha kechana shukra bija sahitaha. Mudha kechana shukra bija sahitaha. Mudha kechana shukra bija sahitaha. Yonim bhajante tanoho. Yonim bhajante tanoho. Yonim bhajante tanoho. Madhye tishtati. Svikaraya yathashrutam kritamanu. Svikaraya yathashrutam kritamanu. Svikaraya yathashrutam kritamanu. Sthanutvamanye punaha. Sthanutvamanye punaha. Sthanutvamanye punaha. Supte devagane yesha purushaha. Supte devagane yesha purushaha. Supte devagane yesha purushaha. Jagarti kaman srijan. Jagarti kaman srijan. Jagarti kaman srijan. Yatredam bhuvanam shritam tamritam. Yatredam bhuvanam shritam tamamritam. Yatredam bhuvanam shritam tamamritam. Shukram brihadhet. Shukram brihadvetukaha. Shukram brihadvetukaha. Shukram brihadvetukaha. So the later half of the verse is the paraphrasing of the next mantra, which is the 8th mantra. Now let us see the first half now. Mudha kechana shukra bija sahitaha. So you can see now Ramaraya tries to bring in more explicitly. So, yonimanye prapadyante is what was stated. Now, yonim prapadyante, who? Those who are supposed to take the sharira. Right? One sharira is gone. Now, the next sharira has to be taken. And for taking this next sharira, they reach the yoni. Kechana yonim prapadyante. So, but he starts with mudhaha. Okay. So, here mudhaha should be understood as those who have not obtained this atmajnana. Okay. So, those who have not obtained this atmajnana. So, they are liberated. Once this atmajnana is obtained, you are liberated. Now, till you get liberated, even if you are a pandita, as far as this atmajnana is concerned, so you are a mudha. Okay? So, therefore, he is saying, mudhaha, kechana mudhaha. So, there are various classes of mudhas. So, kechana mudhaha, one class of them. And one class of them reach this yoni. And this yoni is a generic term. It can be in the form of human being, it can be in the form of elephant, donkey, monkey, mosquito, whatever. Mudha kechana shukra bija sahitaha. So the shukra bija sahitaha is describing the process through which this garbhotpatti happens. And the shukra bija sahitaha is a phrase which we find both Mudhaha and Shukrabija Sahitaha. You find this phrase in Bhagavad Pada's Bhashya of this. So Ramarāyakavi has just lifted from that. Okay. So Bhagavad Pada in his commentary little elaborates that. We will come to that little later. Mudha kechana Shukrabija Sahitaha. So Shukra Rupam Yat Bijam. Okay. So Shukra Rupam. Shukra has also various meanings. Shukla means white, Shukla means pure. But here Shukla refers to so that Retaha, okay, that semen. So that which has white color, okay. Shukra bija sahitaha yonim bhajante tanoho yonim bhajante. This Tanu. Tanu is also a generic term. It can be cow, it can be buffalo. So, Tanoho yonim bhajante. For what? Svikaraya. So, Svikaraya. So, for acquiring a new Sharira. And he says, Yatha shrutam kritamanu sthanutvamanye punaha. So this Utpatti can be of various forms. Just one or two things are listed here. So sthanutvam, so that does not necessarily happen through yoni. So Shukra Sahita yoni is not responsible. But bija with, one can just say in general. So this bija has to go to earth, and the earth is the yoni for. So we can just say various things. So sthanutvam anye punaha kechana. So this is what it says. Now I will take you to the commentary of Bhagavad Pada. He says, if you look at the Bhashya, there are a few interesting things there. Yonim yonidvaram shukrabija samanvita santaha anye kechit avidyavanto mudhaha prapadyanti. He says. Understand? So this avidya of Atman. Avidyavantaha avidyavantaha mudhaha prapadyante. Even if you look at Bhajagovindam, 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 Mudhamate. So there he uses the phrase Mudhamati. Mudhamati means something which has been shielded from reaching the ultimate purpose of life. Sort of covered. So covered. That Viveka is sort of covered, and therefore he is saying Kechid avidyavantaha. And this you can see this thread running across other branches of darshanas also. If you look at avidya is the hetu. So even if you take the second sutra of Nyaya, Dukkha Janma Pravritti Dosha Mithyajnananam Uttarottarāpaye Tadanantarāpaya Dapavargaha. So the ultimate cause is Mithyajnanam. Okay? So Mithyajnanam is a fallacious cognition. Okay? A misunderstanding of something. So that leads to sequentially, okay, ultimately dukkha through this sharira. So this yoni manye prapadyante. So that Shankaracharya describes as yonim yonidvaram shukrabija samanvita santaha. See this the place where it sort of acquires this sharira. So it starts acquiring a physical form. So initially happens in the Purusha Sharira. Okay. Then it gets transferred to the Stri Sharira. So that is what is indicated here. Shukrabija Samanvita Santaha. Samanvita means becoming one and the same as Shukrabija. That is what you have to understand. The form that is acquired by this jiva before entering the yoni is in the form of Shukra. Samanvitaha. So this is more nicely explained if you take the Aitareya Upanishad. Okay. So I will come to that in a minute. So here, Yonidvadam Shukrabija Samanvita Santaha Kechana Avidyavantaha Mudhaha Prapadyante. Why? Sharirattvaya means Shariragrahanartham, in order to acquire a Sharira. Ke Prapadyante Dehinaha. So Dehi is the Jiva. Okay. The Jiva who left the previous Sharira is referred to as Dehi. In that intangible form which he was, he acquires this tangible form. Yonim prapadyante dehavantaha yonim pravishanti ityarthaha. Okay. Now, this Shukra itself is sort of nicely described. So there, if you look at the Aitareya, so it is something which is worth looking into. So this Aitareya Upanishad, in the 4th Khanda beginning, there is a very long introduction which has been authored by Bhagavad-pada. Okay? A very long introduction. And at the end of the introduction, he says almost similar thing. Okay? And then he introduces this mantra. The first mantra happens to be Purushe Hava Ayamadito Garbho Bhavati Yade Tadretaha Tadetat Sarvebhyongebhyas Tejas Sambhutam Atmanyevatmanam Vibharti Tadyada Striyam Sinchati Athaina Janayati Tadasya Prathaman Janma. In fact, Aitareya talks about 2-3 janmas before we come to this final form. So here he is saying Prathamam Janma. This is the first mantra of the 4th Khanda of Aitareya Upanishad. So Purushe Hava Ayam Adito Garbho Bhavati. So this is an interesting statement that is made by Upanishad. Upanishad says Aditaha Garbho Bhavati. The first Garbha, okay, is in Purusha Sharira. And what is it? Yade Tadretaha. Tadetat Sarve Bhyongebhyas Tejas Sambhutam. So Sarvebhyaha Angebhyaha Tejaha Sambhutam, that is described as Retaha. So this is the description that you find. And in concurrence with this, so this Retas is described in another verse. I will tell you the verse. Repeat. Rasadraktam tato mamsam. Rasadraktam tato mamsam. Rasadraktam tato mamsam. Mamsan medah prajayate. Mamsan medah prajayate. Mamsan medah prajayate. Medasosti tato majja. Medasosti tato majja. Medasosti tato majja. Majjat Shukrasya Sambhavaha. Shukrasya Sambhavaha. Majjat Shukrasya Sambhavaha. Why am I giving this? I am giving this because so Bhagavad-pada describes this as, so when he says, so this Utpatti, he says in this description, so this Shukrabija Samanvitaha, so this is considered as Sara. Essence. Okay. So if you look at this, he says, there is another description which you find a more detailed description in Chandogya also. Okay? So how it happens, so Vrishti, Chandrama and so on and so forth. In fact, even before this, Panchagni Vidya. So there it is described. Here you see, Yadetad Retaha Tadetat Sarvebhyongebhyaha Tejas Sambhutam. This is how the Upanishad mantra goes. So how does it get? Sarvebhyaha Angebhyaha Tejas Sambhutam. So there, this verse will be helpful. So what we consume, anna, so that turns into some rasa, right? The rasa gets circulated, okay, throughout the body. Okay, so therefore, rasa adraktam, tato mamsam, mamsan medaf prajayate, medasosti. So that essence is taken in the formation of bone. Tato majja, majjat shukrasya sambhavaha. Okay, so this is how the Shukrotpatti is described. So this Upanishad, Purushe Hava Ayam Adito Garbho Bhavati. So Adito Garbho Bhavati means for the first time. Okay, this Purusha's Utpatti happens. Yadetad Retaha Tadetat Sarvebhyongebhyas Tejas Sambhutam Atmanyevatmanam Vibharti Tadyada Striyam Sinchati. So Yonimanye Prapadyante. That is what is Striyam Sinchati. Tadyada Striyam Sinchati Athaina Janayati Tadasya Prathaman Janma. Okay, so the Sharirasya Utpatti. So there I just read one or two sentences. Ayameva in Bhashya of the Aitareya for this mantra. Okay. Ayameva avidya kama karma abhimanavan. You understand? Yatha karma yatha shrudam mudhaha. Understand? Avidya kama karma abhimanavan. Yajnadi karma kritva asmal lokat dhumadi lokakramena jandrama samprapye kshina karma vrishyadi kramena imam lokyam prapye anna bhutaha. Understand? First he becomes anna. Anna bhutaha purushagnau hutaha. That anna is Purusha Agnau Hutaha. Agnau Hutaha means it goes to the Malli. Purusha Agnau Hutaha. Then Tasmin Purushe Havai Ayam Samsari. See, Bhagavad Pada hints, the verse which I was reading, he says Rasadikramena Aditaha Prathamataha Reto Rupena Garbho Bhavati. Rasadikramena means the dhatu, see, rasadraktam tato mamsam and so on. Rasadikramena aditaha prathamataha reto rupena garbho bhavati. One can ask this question. We don't describe this as garbha. Right? Garbha will be described only when it enters into the Sri Sharira, right? So this is a Gauna Prayoga. So Gauna Prayoga, and what is the guna here? Achhaditattva. So that is how it is. So this is how we have to understand. Yadetad retaha dadetat sarve bhonge bhyastejas rasa reto rupena garbho bhavati ityetadaha. Yadetat purushe retaha tena rupe neti tacchayetat retaha Annamayasya pindasya sarvebhyongebhyaha avayavebhyaha rasadilakshणेभ्यः tejaha sararupam. Okay, sharirasya sambhutam parinishpannam. Okay, tat purushasya, it goes on. Atmabhutatvat means it is becoming an inseparable part of human. Okay. Atma bhutatvat atma. Reto rupena garbhibhutam atmanyeva sharirameva. So it goes on. Okay. So now this picture, yonimanye prapadyante sharirattvaya dehinaha sthanumanyenu sanyanti yatha karma yatha shrutam. Now I come back to this to complete this commentary here. You see, yonim pravishanti. So this is described elsewhere in Upanishad, in some other Upanishad, more detail, even in Brahma Sutra Bhashya. There are a few adhikaranas which describe this. Sthanum. What does sthanu here mean? Vrikshadi rupam. Okay. Vrikshadi sthavara bhavam anye. Anye. Okay. Atyantam adhamaha. This is, you understand? Mudhaha, mudhataraha, mudhatamaha. Okay. Atyantam adhamaha. Maranam prapya anusanyanti anugachanti. So then he says, yatha karma. So what decides this? Yatha karma, yadyasya karma, tad yatha karma. Yaihi adisham karma iha janmani kritam tadvashena ityetat. So you are completely clueless. So the only thing that you have in your hands is doing good karma. Katha yatha shrutam yadrisam cha vijnanam uparjitam tadanurupameva shariram pratipadyante ityartha. This yadrisam vijnanam uparjitam. So what you have to understand is, vijnanam you may be hearing, but unless it is put to practice, it doesn't lead you anywhere. Yadrisham vijnanam uparjitam. Uparjitam means well digested with you. Understand? You may hear good things, you may say this is good, that is good, but you have to do. Okay, so put to practice. So upa samipe arjitam means well digested and brought into achara. Okay. So yatha shrutam yadrisam cha vijnanam uparjitam tadanurupameva shariram pratipadyate ityartha. Yatha prajñam hi sambhava. So this is what it says. Okay. Yatha prajñam hi sambhava. This is something which is there in Aitareya Aranyaka. So this is quoted. Now let me bring you to this Rāmaraya's Vyakhyanam here. Okay, so we have done the commentary of Bhagavad Pada here. You look at the commentary here. Vyakhyana starts with Evam atmanam najananti te mudhaha. So why we describe? So earlier we were describing the urdhvam pranamunnayati apanam pratyagasyati madhye vamanam asinam vishve deva upasate. All those descriptions. So those who have not clearly understood, they mudha. And among them, mudheshu kechana. Okay. Yatha shrutam yatha prajñam kritamanu. Kritamanu here means anusritya. Okay. So in accordance to the karma that has been done by them. Kritamanu karma anusritya yatha karme etyetat. Shukra bija sahitaha reto bija sahita santaha. Tanoho manushya pashu pakshyadi lakshana sharirasya. Understand? Therefore he is saying, this tanu, whatever has tanu, it can be manushya, it can be pashu, it can be pakshi, etc. So whichever has physical form, which can be moving from one place to another place. That's what. Pashu, pakshyadi, lakshana. Lakshana here means swarupa. So swarupa sharirasya svikaraya yonim gudam. Okay, this is another phrase for yoni. Okay. Gudam bhajante. Tatopi mudhaha. Understand? So those who are in a much lower category, Mudhaha, Anye Punaha, Sthanutvam, Sthavaratvam Bhajante. Why? He says, Papavashat iti bhavaha. Papavashat iti bhavaha. In fact, we have this phrase in Bhagavad Gita. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. Understand? Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. So, papavashat, in fact, we have, this is something which is there in various Upanishads stated in various forms. Okay. So, this is something which is very fundamental to us. So, that karma and karma phala bhoga, etadartham sharira. It has a very profound impact also once you understand and keep thinking about it. Okay, now we have this verse quoted by him. Rāmarāyakavi quotes. You repeat the verse. Vāchikaih pakshimrigatam. Pakshimrigatam. Vāchikaih pakshimrigatam. Manasairantyajatitam. Rantyajatitam. Manasairantyajatitam. Sharirajai karmadoshaihi. Sharirajai karmadoshaihi. Sharirajai karmadoshaihi. Yatisthavaratam naraha. Yatisthavaratam naraha. Yatisthavaratam naraha. So there are three kinds of karanas that are available for us. Okay, that is why we say kājika, vācika, manasika. So this kājika, vācika, manasika can be used for punyarjanam, can be used for paparjanam. Both are possible. Okay. So this papasya arjanam, if you do, what kind of arjanam leads to what? I mean, this is broadly described here. So, sharirajaihi karmadoshaihi yati sthāvaratam naraha is what he says. So, sharirajaihi karmadoshaihi, the faults that are committed, the sins that are committed through the sharira vyapara, okay, physical body, karmadoshaihi sthāvaratam yati. Sthāvaratam yati. Why? Because I tell you this Sthavaranta Adhogatihi has some interesting sense behind it. Suppose you try to take a stick to beat the dog. So the moment the dog realizes that this fellow is about to hurt me, it can run, right? But if you decide to cut a branch of a tree, the tree cannot do anything. Even when there is some danger, you don't have an option for you to save yourself from the danger. So mosquito, you try to take your finger there, they will fly off. So this is something which is possible for other beings. Therefore, they say adhogati is, there is no option for it. So sthavaranta adhogati. Therefore, he says sharirajai karmadoshaihi yati sthāvaratam naraha. This karmadosha can be sharirika karmadosha, vācika karmadosha, manasika karmadosha. So manasika karmadosha, the punishment is sort of less. Okay. So it is much more when it comes to sharirika dosha. Okay. So therefore, sharirajai karmadoshaihi yati sthāvaratam naraha. But then what happens for vācika and manasika? He says, vācikaihi pakshimrigatam manasaihi antyajatitam. So even among the human beings, so if you are born in a society, in an environment which is likely to help you in acquiring more and more virtues, more and more values, imbibing more and more values. So that is better, right? That's why we have nahi kalyanakat kaschit durgatim tata gacchati prapya punyakratam lokan ushitva shashvati samaha shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga bhrashto bhijayati. So shuchinam shrimatam gehe, if you are born, so then there is a possibility for you to immediately take to higher steps. So here Antejatita means you don't have even the opportunity to gain that knowledge and elevate yourself. Therefore, manasaihi dosha, less punishment. Vachika dosha, more punishment. Shariraka dosha, much more severe. So that is why this verse is quoted here. Vachikaihi pakshi mrigatam. Okay, so this is what happens. Even see somebody sort of abuses you, so then you may react simply by facial expression. You may react by simply shouting back at him. So if it goes worse, then you go and start beating him. Right? This is what happens. So this is keeping this in mind. So this verse says, Vachikaihi pakshi mrigatam. So Manasaihi antyajatitam sharirajaihi karmadosaihi yati sthāvaratam naraha. So this is, I think we will stop here and we will continue the next half of the verse and the next mantra in the next class. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavirjam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidyushavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarve Sukhinas Santu, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet.